This is a demonstration of asking Cade to design a bike. Basically, all I did was gave it some reference photos from a website of some bike I just randomly Googled on the internet. Looks like a really cool bike. I found a couple of docs, like in Wikipedia and some other places about bike parts, what they are and how they work. I dumped all those into a folder. I gave it to ChatGPT and I gave it Cade, which is a geometry kernel that I've been working on wrapped in CAD-as-code layer, and it set off to work. And this was the process it went through to build a fully parametric bike. Definitely isn't manufacturable at this point from that design, but I was quite amazed at how far it was able to get based on the demos of this sort of thing that I've seen online, where they can even design a bracket, or you ask them to design a car and it's not really any part of a car. It's just basically a skin of a car. So anyway, this is mostly uncut. I think there's a part where I accidentally opened a window I didn't want everybody to see, so I chopped that out, but everything else is just, as it happens, sped up many, many times. This was like a couple-hour process to work with it to build this bike. Basically, it did all the CAD part of it, and I just was telling it what I thought was wrong as it went, and it had to figure out how to correct those things. There's definitely some problems in the limitations in the geometry engine that it ran smack into and had to figure out how to work around. Nice thing is it saved what those limitations were, and I know and can now go back and fix those in the kernel. Anyway, hope you enjoy. This is the process. I thought this was interesting. It started by putting rough volumes as placeholders for various parts, like the wheels and the frame and the seat and those sorts of things, to kind of just have a working place for them. And then it went back and iterated on each of those to make them more accurate in their design. What you're seeing here is just a very simple web front end that I hacked together to view what the internal representation of the geometry is inside of Cade, so that I can see it and the AI can see it, so it kind of knows what it's doing without trying to piece it all together in our brains, because it would be really hard to piece together. So the Cade is based on assemblies and parts. So here you can see it actually taking and only going into the detail view of the wheel assembly, for instance, and then it'll do the drivetrain assembly, and then like the handlebar assembly, and each of those things, and then it puts all those assemblies back into an assembly of assemblies. It got a little confused here with the angles of the spokes. I think there's actually a bug in the geometry engine that it ended up working around here, but the spokes were actually just going straight out instead of intersecting the rim. I started typing a message to let it know it needs to fix those, but I think before I actually sent it or before it processed it, it realized the problem, and then it corrected the spokes so that they actually intercept the rim. The interesting thing is, like, the first rim it built, it didn't have that problem, but the second rim it built, it did. It could have actually built one wheel, by the way, and then reused that multiple times in the drawing. But what happens is these are actually two different wheels. And the front wheel, I guess the specification was for 32 spokes, and the rear wheel was with 36 spokes. So it ended up building two different wheels. And also the hub assembly is different because this is an e-bike. So the rear wheel has that motor within it. So in this case, it wasn't able to reuse the wheel. It did design one handlebar grip and then use that multiple times on the handlebars, but it wasn't able to do it with the wheels. I think it may be a little confusing if you weren't doing it of what's actually going on here. So that green browser there is me just looking at the design. It's completely independent of what ChatGPT is doing. It's running in CAD, so it's the same thing ChatGPT has access to, but this is just allowing me to see what's the current state of the design and being able to navigate that design while ChatGPT is over working in the other window. You'll see there's like a little thumbnail in the top right corner of the window sometimes in ChatGPT. That's its view and what it can see related to the design. And this is just me kind of poking around and exploring what it's doing. And so I'm able to kind of see it as it goes. This will automatically update the design as the CAD is updated in the file system. So we're monitoring all the files, and as ChatGPT adds or removes code or edits, this view will automatically update. And then you'll see me sliding that little slider around. That's basically an explode view. It's a bug in it right now, so only the wheels are exploding out instead of all the assemblies exploding out. But the idea is that basically you'll be able to do an exploded view of all the parts that comprise this bike and how they will be put back together. Something else to fix. this drive assembly was way too hard to create, and it definitely let me know about it in the feedback doc it created for me, how this should be done. It took it a lot of work to do it, and a lot of like doing calculations outside of CAD, where you should be able to do those calculations inside the CAD code. So every little manipulation of it, you're not going out recomputing them and putting constants back in the code. So yes, we'll definitely be adding in some mathematical operators for tangent and those sorts of things to make this actually doable, and doing better work around for arrays and that sort of thing, for gears and that sort of thing. So I think I need to just end it here. I'm going to add some new features to CADE so that this will be an easier process not next time. Certainly that drive assembly took forever. I think can help CADE, or can help ChatGPT a little bit about things that are obstructing and that sort of thing, to just some simple visualization that it will just see when there's conflicting objects that are living within the same space as two things. I think that would have helped with that seat pipe and maybe the steering assembly. It took it quite a while to figure out how to get all the clearances right so that those things would fit together. Definitely there's some seams and that sort of thing where I think it could have done a better job. Maybe trying to teach it a little bit about what a weld is and what those look like could be helpful too. I have partial step and parasolid X_T export sort of working, but it's definitely very brittle and would not export a drawing this complex. So we'll do a step file instead, or we will do a 3MF file instead. And as a final test, I just export as a 3MF file and import it into Bamboo just to see what happens.